Hello and welcome. This is Talkin Ready, and today's story we have is was out a few days ago, but you may have missed it. I nearly did miss it myself. The UK government have emergency legislation, which you probably know about. However, you may not know about the specifics of that bill, which has now gone through and is law. It's downgrades the council support for local authorities when they provide care for disabled and older people. So this story was out, and it basically says the emergency legislation downgrades the level of support local authorities must provide disabled people. The government's 329-page bill passed through the House of Commons and is gone through the House of Lords and is now law. Among a swathe of changes it's set to bring is to temporarily suspend local authorities' legal duties to manage the care needs of all people who are eligible under the Care Act 2014. Instead, councils will have a duty to provide care only, if necessary, to avoid breaching a person's rights under the Convention of Human Rights. ECHR Labour Shadow Health Secretary John Ashworth said that this change downgrades the level of support which local authorities are legally obliged to provide older and disabled people. In short, this means that they will only be entitled to social care to keep them alive and uphold their right to privacy and family life. He called for the Equality and Human Rights Commission to be tasked with overseeing the impact that this has had on social care provision. Liberal Democrat Ed Davey said that he is yet to be convinced that this provision is necessary. His party said that local authorities should be required to meet social care needs as long as they have resources to do so. Former Health Secretary Jeremy Hunt warned that the change, if in place for longer than a year, would create more pressure, not less pressure, on hospitals. The government's bill states that adult social care services will face surging demand and a reduced capacity from staff absence during the you-know-what. This makes it impossible for local authorities to continue to deliver current service levels. Health Secretary Matt Hancock said that the purpose of the change is to allow for a prioritisation of social care, should that be necessary. The bill is set to last for 2 years. However, I suspect that it will not be repealed. The government agreed that Parliament could debate and vote on the bill every 6 months. Ahead of Monday's debate in Parliament, disability campaigner Francesca Di Maggio, who relies on social care to live independently, warned that the change is putting people's lives in danger. The ECHR is a very low bar, she said. Back in 2014, the European Court ruled that a woman who was forced to wear nappies rather than being given carers so that she could access their bathroom was not a breach of her human rights. The case Di Giorgio refers to is one where a local authority placed a severely disabled incontinent mum of 6 in unsuitable accommodation where she was not able to go to the bathroom in time. The court ruled that the state of affairs was not bad enough to count as breach of her right not to be subjected to inhumane and degrading treatment. However, it did find that her right to privacy had been breached. Barrister James Burton said, "This of course is a serious health crisis, but it is hard to think that these changes won't make it worse. Critically, the link between current failures to meet care needs and pressure on the NHS is well established. Now does not seem like a good time to test it." Svetlana Kotova from Disability Campaign Group Inclusion London said they are clearly expecting staff shortages. But to deal with that, you need to fund and initiate a huge recruitment drive. Councils will of course do all they can in these difficult times to meet people's needs. Adult social care does, however, start from a position of pressure, and we estimate that this service faced a funding gap of £810 million in 2020-21, even before the you know what took hold. It calls for councils, rather than the health secretary, to have the power to decide when to relax their duties under the Care Act. Right, that is the very distressing story. So if you're reliant on care, then it's possible that your council will not be funding it anymore, and not even be providing you with essential care. Right, that's it then. Have a good day, and bye for now.